So, VHS, monster, little complicated. So, here's where we're gonna start. First off, every single monster in VHS has 3 powers that can be put into 3 categories: movement, offensive, and tracking. We'll start with Wart. Wart's movement ability is his leap, where he can leap forward and land, creating a shockwave that slows teens for about a second and a half. This ability is good for catching up to teens in a chase, or, and a more prominent thing, is running away. Being able to jump out of the way when you think that there might be an ambush, really important. Definitely use it. Also, an important note is that while you're leaping, if you take any damage while in the air, the shockwave will not slow people. Mutations for the movement ability is Bombshell, which increases the stagger, radius, and duration at the cost of a charge time, so increase activation. Throttle, which is increased leap speed, but increases base cooldown. I know a lot of people that think that this is definitely one of the best. And Kinetic, which is lower base cooldown, but you lose the shockwave. Wart's offensive ability is Acid Armor. This ability will give Wart the armored status effect for 12 seconds. During this time, if somebody shoots at you, instead of taking stigma damage, you take armor damage. If the armor breaks, the teen will lose their weapon. Also, while activating armor, you can take damage and it will stun you out of the activation. And the last one is Toxic, which is you do increased damage to teens while acid armor is up, but the damage the armor can take is reduced. Now this is actually really good because if armor breaks, they lose their weapon. Most teens have learned to not break your armor but slow you down and use it to kite you to get away. If they think that they've got you and they start doing the damage and they don't realize that you have Toxic on, then your armor will break and they lose their weapon, which puts you in a better situation. Unless they're setting up for an ambush, in which case, be careful. Wart's last ability is his tracking, which is echolocation. This will do a small channel time and then send out an AoE that will go map wide and then come back to you after 2.5 seconds. And it will show the last location of the teens. So as the echolocation goes out, it'll show you where that location is. But you don't get the information until it comes back. Mods for Echo are Detect, which is see if teens have a weapon at the cost of increased base cooldown. This is by far his strongest mutation. Being able to know where people were and if they have a weapon or not is one of the best tools in his kit. Mimic is it will create a multiple after image that will show the general direction a teen was running at the cost of focus time. And Deafen, which is when you activate your echolocation, it will deafen them, making it so they can't hear your terror track or your feet or anything else for 4.5 seconds. But if armor is up when you activate the echolocation, armor will be dropped. As for his perks that you can earn from his journey, there's All Consuming, which fills your rage meter faster while feasting, Easy Target, when 3 or more teens group up, they're revealed to you, and Lethal Weapon, where the amount of damage dealt to teens with your M1 is increased. The second killer is Werewolf. Werewolf's first ability is Berserk, which is 24% increased movement speed on activation. When you hit a teen, the ability will be put on cooldown. Mods for Berserk include Nightmare, increasing the duration by 50% at the cost of movement speed. His second mutation is Grim, which is if Berserk does not result in a hit or you don't get hit, it will be immediately refreshed, although you cannot combo with any other ability. His last mutation is Vicious, where when you knock down a teen, Berserk remains, gives you 6% time back on the Berserk, and will stay active. And it cannot go past the max amount of time that it can be active, but it can keep triggering, so you can just keep domino affecting if people are too close to each other. Werewolf's offense ability is his Howl, which will make teens caught in AoE unable to use their weapons or pickups for a set amount of time. Mods for this include Rabid, which lowers cooldown, but reduces the range of the Howl. Thunder, which staggers teens and slows them, but the amount of time you have to channel the Howl is increased. And Savage. After escaping damage, you can howl with 0 focus time, but the cooldown is increased. Werewolf's final ability is Hunt, where he can hear a teen's heartbeat. The closer he gets to them, the heartbeat will increase and become louder, and the edges of your screen will become more red. kind of like playing hot and cold. The mods for this are greedy. While hunting, the range of the heartbeat detect is increased, but the frequency of the heartbeats is reduced. His second mutation is obsessed, where the duration depletes lower if no teens are detected, but faster when they're detected. And chronic, while hunting, you will no longer track prone teens, but whenever you knock down a teen, hunt will go on cooldown for 22 seconds. And Werewolf's perks off of his journey are body count, where teens that are prone are exposed to you within a certain distance of you. Ruthless, where you recover from missed attacks faster, and Screamfest, where teens are disrupted from your basic attacks for much longer. And the final killer, Dollmaster. Dollmaster's tracking ability is his doll traps. Doll traps are your ability to place a doll anywhere on the map. If teens come within a certain distance of the dolls, it will not only change color, but if they get too close, the doll will actually start making noise and be in an alert state to tell you that they're in that area. Mods for this include Tricky, which reduces doll count, but gives you an additional notification for teens based on how far or close they are. So instead of seeing yellow when they're just in the area and then turning red when they get too close, it has another indicator. Offspring, which increases the amount of dolls that the Dollmaster can place, but reduces the alarm distance by about 80%. His last mutation is Haunted, where dolls will no longer break at the end of their alarm state, and teens that try to break the doll will be exposed to you. Also, the doll possession cooldown ability will be reduced, but dolls will no longer change color when people are nearby. They'll only do the alarm state. Dollmaster's offensive ability is his doll possession, which will allow you to possess any doll trap and chase down teens with a doll without risking your body. While controlling a doll, though, you are vulnerable, but the edges of your screen will turn red when a kill weapon is near your body, or yellow if it's a stun weapon. Also, while controlling a doll, you will get a new ability, which is Leap. After a small cooldown, you'll be able to lunge forward and stab people, kind of like Wart's Leap ability. The first mutation is Frolic, which increases the amount of time you can possess a doll, but the focus time to take over the doll is increased. Dollmaster's second mutation is Rebound, which is the dolls will have their jump immediately after being possessed, but the amount of time you can possess them is reduced. His third and final mutation is Double Cross. The doll can now store 2 jump abilities, but the doll's base speed is reduced. Dollmaster's movement ability is his Teleport, where you can look at a doll, activate his ability, and then teleport to where that doll is. It will also pick up the doll. His first mutation is Outcast. The doll teleport will no longer use a selected doll trap, but instead will always target the doll trap that is the furthest away from the Dollmaster. And the doll teleport focus time is reduced by 10%. His second mutation is Slippery. A second doll teleport can now be performed within 4 seconds of the initial doll teleport before going on cooldown. If the second doll teleport is performed, a doll trap will be left behind. But the focusing time required to teleport is increased. The final mutation is Aggressive. If the Dollmaster strikes a team within 8 seconds of performing the doll teleport cooldown is instantly refunded, but the base doll teleport cooldown time is increased. Dollmaster's perks on his journey are Ambush, where if a teen misses a skill check, not only is the bench where they missed the skill check showed to you highlighted red, but also the teen is revealed to you for a set amount of time. Deadly Bite, where a teen eats a candy bar, they are revealed to you for a set amount of time. And his last perk is Hidden Agenda, where when a teen leaves a hiding place, the aura of the hiding place is revealed to you. I hope this gives you a better understanding of how the monsters in VHS work, and outros are weird, so bye. Warts. Warts. Hope it helps with the... I sound like Shy Peepo, and that's terrible. Hope this helps give you a better understanding. Hope this... Ein, say hi! Ein! Don't Don't sniff at me. Ein! There's the outro.